Thank you very much. God bless you all. Good morning once again, everybody. I want to make a special apology to our spoken word artist. I am taking your time. Pardon me, I'm not used to staying behind the pulpit. I'm someone who likes to move around with people. So my people in Lagos knows me very, very well. I'm just going to share a couple of stories with you. And I'm a bit very practical and hands-on person. And by the special grace of God, I grew up in Deeper Life. We started since the 80s. I was in the children's church, in the youth church. We were in the Central Youth Choir back then in 1993. And then we went to campus. I was academic director. I was also the founding pastor for... I'm getting somewhere. For our Ikpetu Modu pre-degree. I mean, God really spared our lives, accidents, all kinds of things. You know, it was a missionary job. From there, I served in Ekiti State. And in Ekiti State, I was the general coordinator for the Deeper Life Corpus Fellowship. I was also a district pastor in Ekiti English Church. I was also the local government youth leader. So it was a combined honors, would I say, that God gave to me by the special grace of God. And having gone through all of these, when I came back to Lagos after my NYSC, it was as if I lost identity. It was as if I lost a sense of purpose. It was as if I didn't know where to fit. You know, something then happened. Many of my friends were telling me, Victor, what are you doing here? This is where professionals are. And they mentioned the name of the church. Pastor Sam Adeyemi, Covenant, right? Destar, thank you very much. And they told me, this is where all professionals are. What are you doing in Deeper Life? And I'm like, okay, let me tell you a story. When I got into Procter & Gamble, it was the peak of it all. And I felt, what am I doing here? What they are saying in youth church is no longer relevant to me. Adult church, they are just talking about family, all those things. I am in between. They are not really meeting my need. And then I started walking down the road one day in Agidinbi, and I saw a church banner. Very fantastic. It ministered a lot to me. Then one Tuesday, I made up my mind that I'm going to attend. As I stepped out and I was walking down there, something just told me, go back. So I went back, I continued my walk, and then I went home. I went to Bible study the next week, and as I got to Bible study, I can tell you for a fact, I never had one word of what was said in the Bible study. The message to me that day was very different, and it was a message, you belong here, don't go anywhere. Something is happening very soon. And I stayed back. 3 consecutive Bible studies, this was my experience. I did not hear one word of what was said that day. And it was that continuous reassurance. So one day, when the GS came up and he spoke about Anchor University and the vision behind Anchor University, and he talked to us about the fact that, look, technology has caught up with us. We were talking television. You know, we need to bring about a whole lot of changes. If you remember, it was a combined service that was heard to various combined locations. I was standing outside the church. I think I went to use the bathroom, and on my way back, he just stopped me again in my track. He said, it is beginning, and you will play a role here. He said, this is what I plan. So I went inside, I sat down, continued the service. And then when I got home, it became very, very clear to me. And the word was dropped to me, Young Professionals Forum. Deeper Life had not launched it. We had not launched it. It was very, very clear to me, and then I wrote it down. So I went to meet my group pastor, Pastor Adebayo, and I told him, I said, Pastor, we want to start something. He said, oh yeah, so for me. And then I love that man. He's a very open, straightforward man, you know. He doesn't celebrate tradition or any of those things. Oh yeah, tell me what is it. And I told him, I said, look, all of my people have gone to Daystar. And they are all telling me that professionals go to Daystar, that no professional stays in Deeper Life. That what are we doing here? And God has been laying this thing on my mind that we can build an army of professionals too within the church. And I told him we are setting up this young professionals thing. He said, go ahead. He did not even let me finish. So we had our very first YPF. Remember, Deeper Life had not launched YPF. I was not a part of the conversation at the group church. I had not met Brother Samson. We had never discussed anything. And I invited one of our brothers, Brother Philip Omekoye. He was the HR director at Cadbury then. So I invited him. I invited one other brother, Dr. Emmanuel Ukeleji. He's the founder and CEO of Seamless HR. And then I invited one other person. I think about 4 professionals all came together. The church was filled up. People within Deeper Life, outside of Deeper Life, and what we were talking about was faith, family, and finance. What are you talking about today? It's exactly the same thing. You have just used the M word. Married, mithia, ministry, money. Money is also part of means of livelihood. And we were speaking about all of those things. And that was how we birthed it. A couple of months later, then YPF was announced in the church. You can imagine how I was, where I was. I was grinning from ear to ear to say, this is it. And my burden was this. It's important for us as Deeper Life to be able to take our place in the world of work. The average Deeper Lifer leaves university and you are going straight to teach in a nursery and primary school. Why? The bulk of our youth workers worked in schools. And I looked at it. Issues were coming up and we were almost helpless. We had no voice or representation in the professional world. And the few who were there were too humble to showcase themselves because they felt like they would be called proud or arrogant or domineering or showing off themselves. And thank God, we don't use ring in our church. We are married with children. Even if you see will of God to them, they will politely tell you, I'm sorry, my sister, or I'm sorry, my brother, I am married. It is not about being proud or boastful. It's about telling you about the possibilities that God has for every one of us. Because that Bible passage sticks repeatedly in my mind that I know the thoughts that what? I think towards you. Thoughts of what? And what? To give you what? An expected end. It says, when I've written to you with all diligence to show unto you the things that pertains unto what? Why did life comes first? The Bible is very, very succinct. And those words are chosen for us. The things that pertain to life are very, very important to every one of us. And the first question is this. We want to make an impact in the marketplace. What are they doing in the marketplace? They are trading. They are doing business. They are offering something of value in exchange for rewards. And the question I would like to ask you is this. What do you have to offer the world that they will be willing to pay you for? And our spoken words artist, one of the things I told our brother, I was supposed to be in Mina yesterday. We have a CBN project that we are working on. And from Mina, I'm going to Asaba. We have a couple of trips. The whole of September, I'm hardly going to be in Lagos. Now, in the middle of it, there's a project we are also working on for FAN, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. I just got a message from one of the directors yesterday that I needed to be in a meeting by 1 p.m. So I ran there, from there went to the airport, bought my ticket, and then it was my wife, trust me, who sent the flyer to me. He said, Mr. Odbeni, you have program tomorrow. I'm like, oh God, please let this cup just pass me by. I am so busy. And because I've been sleeping very, very late, because I needed to catch up with all of these projects. In the middle of it, somebody just gave me a call. I was offering me 150 million naira to come and take a job with them. 150 million naira per annum. And I sat down, I told my wife, I said, why is God always giving somebody good problem like this? I am focused on one thing. This one is coming again as a distraction. I said, honey, don't worry. We'll pray about it. What we will do, we will do. If we will say no to it, we'll say no to it because there are other things for us. Why have I mentioned all of these things to you? The world does not just end in your locality. And you need to first of all find out who you are to be able to get to where you have to go to. And that question about who you are, I answered part of it in Bagada when we were having one of the maiden edition of the YPF in Bagada. How do I know what I am supposed to do? You have heard various speakers tell you, follow your passion. Hello? And they tell you with your passion you can be anything, right? Your passion that does not put food on your table. Is that one passion? Answer me now. Don't be humble about it, oh. It is just punishment. My wife is a medical doctor, but I always tell her there is medicine and there is the business of medicine. They are two different things. Everything you do, you are a lawyer, there is the business of being a lawyer. You are a footballer, there is the business of being a footballer. And that's why you could hear it when Dodo Mayana died. Well, you may not know they call him that. Peter Rufai, he was, Nigeria's undoubtedly best goalkeeper. And then Taribo West was complaining about the neglect for all those who had served Nigeria. What happened on the social media space? People came for him. Shut up. Stop gaslighting the president and people in government. And then they brought out newspaper reports of when minimum wage was 5,000 naira. Between Taribo West, J.J. Okota, and Nwankwo Kwanu, they were earning 195 million naira a year when minimum wage was 5,000 naira. And the question they were asking them is this: what did you do with all that money? When you were playing for Nigeria, were you doing it for free? Did they not pay you? And it's exactly the same mindset we see even for those who work in places of work. Little the wonder people will be 60 years old, they are still changing their date of birth. Because all throughout their life that they had been working, there was nothing that they did in preparation for what comes next. And you don't want to be that. My father served Union Bank for 27 years. And I looked him in the face. I said, Daddy, what did you do with all of these things? He didn't tell us until he died 2 years ago, when I found out that he was trying to rescue a village that didn't care about him. And it's important for you to begin to plan yourself right now. Now, because I can see some younger folks here, I'm going to take a little step back in starting off before I then take you into how you can make your mark in the marketplace. The first question is, who are you? And when I'm asking that question of who are you, I mean, what value do you think you bring to the world? Every one of us needs to sit down and ask ourselves some questions. What are some things that I can do for free? And the best way in which you can know some of these things, yes, God has given us brain to allow him rest in some matters of life, much as he still wants us to connect with him by always asking him questions. But God wants a relationship with somebody, not just someone who is only coming to just be asking what. God has given you some things. Moses, what is in your hand? A stick. What have you been doing with it? Tendering the sheep. God will only use people who have groomed themselves in some expertise. Now, how do you know who you are? Number one, go and identify 10 people who know you very, very well. When they say, one more dele dele, is there anybody who does not understand what I said? One more dele dele. Anybody? Okay. You don't understand. How long have you been in Ogun State? 1 year. You say? 2 months. Okay, we can pardon you. If you had been here for 6 months or more, I will tell you I won't translate. You must understand it. Dele dele means they know you reach house. Abi, Shemodba. They know you very well. They've seen you in your elements. And they can tell you who you are. And these are people who can also tell you the truth. They are very frank and objective. They don't sugarcoat anything. They will tell you exactly how it is. And once they do this, what do? Meet them one-on-one, not as a group. And don't let them even know you are talking to somebody else. Just meet them one-on-one. Sir, can you tell me all you know about me? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, you are talkative. Write it down. Don't fight them. Don't question them. Just write it down. The only follow-up question you are ever allowed to ask them is, can you give me an example of when I demonstrated this trait? And they can tell you, oh, the other day we went for this thing, you were just talking non-stop. Okay, thank you very much. Note it. What other things can you say about me? You are stingy. Write it down. Oh, what other thing? You like food. Write it down. Write everything they've used to describe you down and thank them afterwards. Move to the next person. Then to the next person. Then to the next person. When you have done that for about 10 different people, plot it into an Excel. How many of you know how to use computer? I don't mean browse Facebook. Oh. I mean, you can actually get on Microsoft tools, and use things. Plot it into Excel. The names of all the people on the vertical axis and all the behaviors with which they have described you on the rows. And then begin to check them. Any characteristic that about 70% of them have used to describe you is the real you. And there must be people who are frank with you. Remember, that's the criteria. Now, when they say it, I am a talkative, what do I do? You can't stop talking. All you can do is you can change what you talk about. And the only way you can do that is to begin to build content into what you are saying. How? Read books. Choose the kind of books you read. Read materials. Be very selective about the kind of things you watch. So that when you are speaking, when you are talking, people will no longer call you a chatterbox. Then they begin to say, well, that guy is an inspirational person. Because every time you open your mouth to talk, people are having to reflect on themselves. People are having to rethink. And people are getting a strategic positioning on where to go in life. Do you get my analogy? Now, bring all of those skills together, go online, and say, in what industries do they need people who possess A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z skills and competencies? A long list will come down to you. Once those lists comes down, oh, you are a talkative, they need you in sales. You are a talkative, they need you in corporate communication. You are a talkative, they need you in social media manager. You are a talkative, they need you here. Then you begin to read up about every single one of those professions. Get on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional networking site. Find people who are in those professions. Reach out to them and ask them questions. What did it take you to get to the top here? I want to be mentored by you. Don't ask them for favors. Tell them, I have a lot of free time on my hands, sir. I wouldn't mind if I can take on some of your assignments and projects that you are working on. And I promise you that I will deliver to time. Because if you go and meet them, teach me, sir, mentor me, sir, they don't have time. And I tell you in the out world there, nothing goes for nothing. Are you going to pay them? Or what else are you offering? But when you tell them, that I have some free time on me, let me take some of your responsibility off you and provide support to you. They will have no choice to train you on those things that you need. And from there, you gain work experience while you are serving them. And that work experience is what you will use when you are seated before a recruiter like me, telling me about what you have done before. And that's how you strategically position yourself in the world of work. Are you following me? So I'm giving it to you step by step. I studied zoology for my first degree. I did an MBA thereafter, specializing in marketing. By God's grace, I was Chief Operations Officer. I was MD of an automobile company. I started my own firms. We do in real estate. We deal in HR consulting and strategy. We also have a diagnostic center that is also in the works right now that we are building on. And then we own some schools. And by God's grace, we are starting an insurance brokerage business very, very soon. Now, how did we get to know about all of these things? In the course of work, I started noticing certain things. Don't just do your work with templates. Ask yourself questions. Why are they doing this? In the course of our HR strategy work, I found out that many times I have to negotiate with various vendors on behalf of my client. And many of these vendors are in the insurance space. And when they are paying them commission, so you are insuring something into hundreds of millions. And then they are paying commission that is going into maybe 10 or 15 million. So for instance, you've paid 100 million as premium to insure things that are worth several billions. And then the insurance broker, for just that one transaction, is getting 10 or 15 million naira payable to them. And I am seeing those monies moving. And I am the one helping them to do the negotiation. Makoja mi olugbala. Now. Didn't you see blind Bartimaeus? Who is passing? Jesus of Nazareth. Oh, Soragidan. Jesus of Komobiton Law. He was just my sister. Jesus of Nazareth, blind Bartimaeus. He did not kneel down when he was singing that song. He was standing up chasing after Jesus. And when I saw those opportunities, I started talking to people within the insurance space to say, how do we set up a company like this? Such that when my clients are talking to me, I tell them we have a sister company that also does this. And the sister company can manage it. We keep all of that funds within the business. Setting up a finance company too, because my staff members of about 2,000 plus people are taking loans from another company, and the company is charging them some percentage interest on a monthly basis. So think about it. If you give out 40 million in loan and you collect 5% in 1 month, what is 5% of 40 million? That's about 2 million. Free of charge. You did not carry, you did not drop. You know what I mean? Translate it into English for me. I mean, into Yoruba for me. Laigbe, laiso. And that was all. Pay attention to what is going on around you, and how then can you commercialize the knowledge that you have acquired over a period of time. And that way you can make your mark in the business world. Start from a particular area, a particular trade, and then know the job. Many of us, we grumble when they give us assignments. They are giving you projects to work on, and you are grumbling. It's just for you to be able to hone your skills, expand your horizon, help you to be able to develop certain competencies that you never knew that you had. And with all of those things, you can share them in the course of interviewing, because what we do now is behavioral-based interviewing. And we ask you about experiences. Tell me about a time you solved a difficult problem before. What was the problem? Why was it difficult? How were you able to solve it if you were able to solve it? And if you did not solve it, what did you learn? And the experience could be from anywhere. Home, school, church, mosque, wherever. And once we share those things, we as recruiters, we know what we are looking out for. And once we find those things, we are able to identify them, and then we consider you for the opportunity that you are looking out for. I wrote something down here, and it was a product of me reflecting many years ago. In deeper life, we are very conservative. It's good. We want to get to heaven. But sometimes we need to break our shell. And that day, I was just reflecting, and the Holy Spirit kept expanding that thought in my mind. See, let me tell you something. There's nothing as beautiful as being a friend of Jesus. You know, some people say, oh, Jesus is our friend, so I don't need to fear. No. When Jesus beats, he beats very well. I can tell you from experience. We serve him in reverential fear. And every time we are praying, not just that we want what we want, but God, that your will be done in my life. And that's why I tell many of my friends, we've come so far today. We cannot afford to turn back. And the prayer has always been, God, ayeti momimoel. In the world of work, people already know, they say, oh, that one, that he will not say 4 things without mentioning by the grace of God, by the grace of God. If they now catch us in sin, Jesus, they will not say, Omo Jesu de ni o. For the sake of your own name, keep us. But it all starts from what? You having a personal relationship with him. And telling him, look, I want to be saved. I want to have a change of life. One of the people I love and I admonish most is Smith Wigglesworth, the apostle of faith. When he was going into full-time ministry, he asked God, let's do business. I'm a plumber. My biggest customers are alcohol industry. Now I have a conviction that I should not, because I preach against them. Now I'm going to drop my job. How will I feed? The day I lack coat to put on, I'm going back to my job. Oh, so you had better keep me. They struck an agreement. He remains the only man who died in that country and no knife came upon his body. Because he said whether in death or in life, no knife will touch his body. He had kidney stones. He passed them all through urine. He said he's not going for any surgery. He's an apostle of faith, and God honored his word in his life. He had a coat till he died. He died on the pulpit while preaching. He fell back and broke his neck, and they buried him straight from there. You can build that kind of relationship with God. For they that do know their God shall what? And do what? Exploit is not only in the miraculous. Exploit is also in the physical, whereby great inventions, great technology are ascribable to you. And that's why I made up my mind. I'm going to come here and talk freely from my heart. Now, I told you there was a discussion I was having with Jesus, and I will tell you that now. And I started looking at the lives of 4 people. There was Lazarus, there is Abraham, there is Joseph, and there is Daniel. Write them all down. What do we know about Lazarus? He was a righteous man, a man who believed in God. In spite of his state of lack, Lazarus served God. And then we were told that he died at the gate of the rich man. And the Bible testified that what? He was taken to where? Lazarus did not go to heaven because he was a poor man. He went to heaven because he was a righteous man. Poverty, lack is not a sign of piety. It's not a sign that you are Christianly. And that's why somebody said, I don't believe poor people when they tell me that they are righteous. They may not just have money to be able to fund their temptations. One of the things I share in my male mentoring session is beware of that time when sin becomes inconsequentially cheap. I was a director in a company and we were having our end of the year party and they came to meet me on the stage and they said, sir, which one do you want? I said, which one do I want? I said, it's too early to start eating now. They said, no, not that one. They said, look in that corner. I looked there. I saw some ladies there. I said, what happened to them? Are they not our staff? They said, no, that we usually get them for directors. Pick the one you want. Like say Titus. He say catfish. Point and kill. They were like, no, you are not paying anything. No, company has paid for everything. Just go and relax and enjoy yourself for the night. Hey, I was like, hey, Jesus, so what I did, I told my team member to help me pack my meal because, they joke with Nibo. I told them, pack my meal for me. They packed everything. I told my driver, go and set the car. He set it. I called the moderator, please put my speech up. The moment I finished my speech, they thought I was going back to my seat. I just went out from there and I went home. And then as I was going home, I was just singing, Oluwa shete mi nire. And then the following day, when I got to the office, they were all like, Pastor V, they knew what it meant. Heaven is far. And I want to get there. We can't go through all of these wahala in this side of eternity. In fact, the list of questions I want to ask Jesus, it's plenty. And I want to get there and ask him. He's been answering some here on earth, but there are some that he's deliberately keeping. Maybe we still answer here before we go. Or maybe when we get there, but I have my notebook. Now, I looked at Lazarus. Then I started comparing him with Abraham. Abraham also went to heaven. But the Bible recorded something about Abraham. He was a man who had. He was a man who was blessed by God. He was a hard-working man. He was a man who had resources multiplied unto him. But he also went to heaven. Then I looked at a man called Daniel. Daniel was not so much known for wealth. But Daniel was known for what? Intellect, brilliance. And then he was also known for what? Connectivity with God. Daniel also did what? He went to heaven. He prophesied so much about the end time that oftentimes when we are teaching eschatological studies, we are comparing between what he wrote in Daniel's and what John the Beloved wrote in what? In Revelations. But then there's also another man called Joseph. What do you know about Joseph? He was brilliant. He had connection with God. He was a man that was highly revered. He sat in position of power and authority. He prophesied about the freedom of the children of Israel from the land of Egypt. And he told them, do not leave my bones in this land. When God visits his people and we are going back to our own land, make sure you carry my bones along with you into that land. That man also went to heaven. And God asked me that question. How do you want to go to heaven? I am asking you too today. How do you want to go to heaven? Like Lazarus, you will still get there. Like Abraham, you will get there. Like Daniel, you will get there. Or like Joseph. And the ultimate choice is you. That's the ultimate choice. You are going to make the decision yourself on how you want to get to where you are going. Now, remember where I started from. Know yourself. Know the industry where they need those behavioral competencies. Find a way to pitch yourself into it. And that you can do by the power of networking. Don't just limit everything to it has to be a deeper life brother or a deeper life sister. No. If you believe that you cannot stand as a Christian unless you are amongst fellow deeper lifers, I doubt your salvation. Because the Bible says, let your light do what? So shine. Before who? Deeper lifers. Before Christians. Before Nigerians. Before all men. There is no place that God elevates you to that his power is not strong enough to keep you. You are the one limiting yourself in your mind. And you will look for biblical references to support it. What light, what union has light got to do with darkness? When there's somebody you could do some business with, ask God for guidance, but you've already cut him off in your mind. He's a Muslim man. I am sorry. The banks in Nigeria, who knows what religion the beginners are? Are you not doing business with them? Don't limit yourself in your mind. There are so many self-limiting thoughts we give to ourselves, especially as members of the church. Pray and seek guidance from God for everything that you do. The thing that pains me the most was during my campus days. I told you I was very, very busy. And I'm grateful to God that I am where I am today because I woke up at a point in time. My life was just fellowship center, lecture room, or I was in my room. No social life. Zero. Completely zero. What was going up in the department, they are choosing executives to be able to organize some events, interdepartmental school events, that will take them to go and meet the shakers and the makers of our nation. Very isolated. And then you are now telling me, how do you get visibility to where you are going? Your capacity to be able to grow is a function of the kind of network that you keep. One of my friends was organizing an HR event. And then he was off to Ethiopia to go and deliver a paper. He now called me up and said, hey, Vic, Joe, I need you to be the keynote speaker at that event. I'm off to Ethiopia. I am supposed to deliver on that keynote. He did not even tell me the keynote. He said, I am off to Ethiopia. I want you to represent me at the event. I was not planning on going before. I said, okay, no problem. I will go. So I went there. When I sat down, I didn't know he had dropped a message with somebody to say once Are enters, because my friends called me Are, he said, just tell him he will be the keynote speaker. I sat down. The event had already started. They came to meet me where I was. Oga, they said you'll be keynote speaker. I said, actually, once off for me, you are just telling me now. That was how I brought out my phone and I started scribbling down some things. I went there, I delivered my keynote. They gave me a clapping ovation. As I went to sit down, a lady just walked over to me, gave me a handshake. It was later when I looked at her face very well, I found out she was an elderly, matured woman. And then I greeted her very well, very polite and all of that. And she said she would like to get my number. So I gave her my number. When we stepped out, I never knew she was a GM in the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. And that was how she called me. She said, I was blown away by your speech. And I think there's a lot you can do for us in FAN. It was through that simple network. I'm having conversations with the Minister of Aviation. I am speaking with several key people in government. I never knew this woman from Adam. It was just that simple event. Don't be too... Sometimes my wife will look at me and say, wardrobe, jade. Don't be wardrobe. Don't be kitchen cabinet that does not leave the house. They are professional networking events. They are professional, events and groups. You know where you cut it off that, look, this one, I cannot join you in doing. But what you can do that the Bible permits, get it done. Our leaders just mentioned to us now, visibility. Blinking in the dark, nobody will see you. Go out there and participate. And that's how they can know you. Because in my wealth management class, I tell people, 2 major things determine if you will ever be wealthy in life. Where you are born and where you are born. The first where you are born is the country in which you are born into. People born into US and some of Western Europe have greater chances of being wealthy. Even in some part of Eastern Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and the rest of those ones, your chances of being wealthy is a lot more compared to Africa. Then the second thing is, into which family are you born? Imagine I was, who now? Maybe Dan Tata family, or Femi Otedola family, or even the president's family. You know the amount of entourage that will follow me here. Because by God's grace, I'm brilliant. I'm deploying that mental acumen. With that name, there's no company that I will want to enter that they will not open their door for me. Why? Because of my family name. But guess what? Rather than blame your background, why don't you build that family name? Who knows the father of Abraham? You can't remember. But Abraham entered into a covenant relationship with God. And God said, by you shall all the nations of the world what? Be blessed. And many of you are still fighting generational curses. May I tell them, generation tell me, I told you, Abraham, wow, and some people say, me, when I was coming to heaven, blank check is what God gave me. Go and conquer your world. And here I am conquering it. And you too will conquer your world in Jesus' name. I will wrap up with this. Number 1, identify your purpose in life. Follow that simple step. Connect with your maker. And let him open your eyes to where you are going. Number 2, identify what you are excellent at and be ruthlessly disciplined at being the best at it. Ruthlessly disciplined. Baba GS, many times he sleeps at 2 a.m. By 4 he has woken up. We are not saying do things that is dangerous to your health, but there is always a price to pay to be anything in life. You 8 to 5. 5 kilo. You can never be an entrepreneur. We don't have Saturday, we don't have Sunday. You come back from church like this, you open your laptop, you are attending to one client or the other. How many times you have clash of schedules and you are thinking of how to do it? Be ruthlessly disciplined about it. And then the B part of that one is network. I'm going to offer a lady an employment today. She's going to be earning 500,000 naira net monthly. I don't know her from anywhere. I just spoke to somebody. I said, I need an HR manager. One of my clients, because he has outsourced his entire HR department to us, and I need to put an HR manager there from Monday. Is there somebody you can recommend? I spoke to him last week. He just sent me the lady's CV overnight. And then I called him up. He said, Baba, I'm in Abuja. I'm doing this. That lady I sent to you, she's professional. She has great integrity. I said, do I need to do any interview? He said, look, Victor, she's a good lady. Go with her. That's all. Networking and connection. That is all. She's getting the job. She resumes immediately on Monday. And she's going on with it. So, whatever you are good at, pay the price to learn, pay the price to know it, and network accordingly. And last but not the least is integrity and values. You see, even if you are a tailor, like I used to tell my wife, the number of tailors that will go to heaven maybe is 0.0001%. You all know why, Abby? How many of you are tailors here? Put up your hand now. My sister, I hope you will go to heaven. There's a guy who does all the furniture jobs in our estates. When I call him, Godwin, there's a project, I need you to deliver on it. Godwin will tell me, sir, my hands are full. I will be through on the 10th of July. Can you wait till then? So that when I am through, I can start and I finish it. I don't take jobs when I know I'm not available. And I will tell him, Godwin, I will wait. Because the next person that I will call, he will come today. He will start with 2 of his boys. Tomorrow, it's only 1 boy you will see. Next tomorrow, you will not see another person. For the next 1 week, you will become 7 p.m. we reach. I was tired. Look at me, Lara. To now add shouting on top of it again. Integrity, value system. Showcase to the world that you are a Christian. And ask God questions. He will speak to you. And that's why it's important for you to build a personal relationship with God. I tell you, it makes life easy. I was reading the story of a man who was behind the creation of many of these agricultural tractors. When they face a challenge on the farm, he will go into his house, sit down and start praying to God. And God will give him the picture, the drawing, the mechanical drawing of the equipment to build. He will write it all out. And then by the following morning, he will present it to his team that this is the solution to our problem. And that was how many of those great inventions were made. Now, don't get me wrong. God is not trying to call us out as being lazy. That man has gone all the way to acquire knowledge, because all the things that God is showing him will not make sense if he did not acquire knowledge. It's very, very important. But the relationship he had with God spurred him further. Even us too. I've received Divine Expo before. I was so busy with a pre-degree program, but I was still going to read. They used to tell me then that you are the first academic director that reads like everything depends on reading. I said it's leadership by example. So I sat down. I said, God, you know, I have to attend to all of your children, and I must pass too. Help me here. I went to sleep. He showed me question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. As I woke up, I wrote all of them out. I called my study group. I said, this is what I saw. And that was how we practiced it together. All of us in that study group. By the next day, when we got to the exam hall, question 1 was question 1. Question 2 was question 2. Question 3 was question 3. All of a sudden, they just found out that some people busted into laughter in the exam hall. And then we all turned around. They were all just looking at me. The moment we finished that exam, when we came out, all of them said, Victor, too lost the next paper. Go and sleep the next. I am telling you, God knows how to take care of you. But you also need to pay your own price too. My final parting shot to you is this. Final. Oftentimes when we have tried to do something and it's a bit difficult, you say maybe God does not want us to do it. We are very quick to say maybe God does not want to. And sometimes in the future, when we have the benefit of looking back, you say, maybe that was why God did not allow that thing to work. It worked in my favor. But there are other times too. You see some people who say, I did that thing 31 times before I had breakthrough. Then I sat down one day in prayers and I said, Lord, I need clarity. When are you trying to protect me from myself? And when do I just need to persevere to be able to break through? Because without that knowledge, I will be persevering where I need not to. And I will be giving up when I ought to have persevered. And for many of us in the Christian faith, we are very quick to spiritualize it that maybe God does not want us to do this thing and we give up too easily. Never ever give up in life. Without a clear directive from God saying, don't persevere on that thing. Your approach may differ. Your method may differ. You may need to acquire additional knowledge. You may need to reach out to people. You may need to move and get more network. And that's the only way by which you can grow. Without this, you cannot grow. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. Those are the words of B.B. King. But I also did some evolution in school. And Charles Darwin, in the book The Theory of Evolution and Natural Selection, said something. The second law of evolution, it said the parts of the body that we do not use atrophies with time, means it dies off. So when I went back to the words of B.B. King, I said the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you but you. Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. YPF has organized this program. You are learning a whole lot. Remember, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Adebayo Jeremiah. I'm a student of Kwara State University, and I'm a young CEO of Arts Ara Masterpiece Hub in the Kwara State.
Please speak to the mic so that we can hear you very well. Speak to the mic.
My question is, for some couple of months, our head of campus, she said she wanted to, because my department was moved to a new location. That's OC campus in Kwara State. So she messaged me, she called me when I was in school one day that you have a project to do, and she would like me, students rather, to bring up the project. That is, you have to do some sculptural piece in school and some paintings in school, because I'm an art student. So she said I should come up with a proposal and submit to her. So fortunately, I wrote the proposal, but I didn't submit it to her. So it was until when I get home, and I'll send the proposal to her. So my question is, though I don't have a company yet, but the company name I put on the proposal was just an idea of someone that, okay, bring up a company instead of you just going to her as a student. So after submitting the proposal to her, I said, will I be able to come back to school, maybe before the end of last month, that I should come and meet the Commissioner of Education of Kwara State, because the project is going to be a big project, and the state government is going to fund it. So now my question is, though I don't have, my company is not yet registered, so I met the legal practitioner. He said I should, what's it called? I should register under CAC and all those stuffs. But meeting with those who will create the company, will register the company, I don't know to go about that. Then number two, he also made mention of Kwara State Inland Revenue Service or such. So all that is kind of a bit of problem for me, because on my way back I don't have a phone. My phone failed, so I don't have access to the phone right now. So what do you think I can do about it?
Thank you very much. Wherever there is a will, there is always a way. And if you are sure of what you want to do, there are no excuses that stands in front of you. First, they've contacted you. You don't need to register a limited liability company. You can open a business name. KPMG is just a business name. It's not a limited liability company. They do business with government into tons of dollars, not just naira. Opening a business name is going to cost you 10, 20,000 naira. You can get that money from family and friends to be able to get it done. And the lawyer who does it for you, and that's why we say even within the church, in the household of faith, you will always find people who have that CAC Connect. While they are doing that, they would register you for FIRS so you can do withholding tax. And that's it. Your only business with Kwara State Internal Revenue Services is if you have employees, meaning your employees will pay their own taxes. Or worst case scenario, even for the withholding tax and VAT, it's going to be paid from Kwara State, which will add up to part of the VAT from Kwara, but it's not going to be payable to them. It's going to be payable to FIRS. So you don't have any problem with that at all. So go and register your business name and get going with what you want to do. Oh, my phone fell off, my this. It's all excuses. Trust me. Because people... Okay, let me just share this with you. So I have a client. They have a company here in Ogun State. Their trucks, when it comes, is always blocking the road. And community have complained. They reached out to me. I was driving in. I saw a portion of land. I branched there and I asked the people there, I want to make inquiries about this land. They told me it's an acre of land that's for sale. And I asked They told me 350 million. I said, okay, thank you very much. So I drove into the company, and then I told the guy, that the MD, that we can either buy that place or we lease it from them. When I spoke with the agent, he told me maybe 2.5 million or thereabouts every month. So I asked myself a question. If we can convince the HQ of this company to lease that land on a monthly basis, let's say, for instance, they're even paying 500,000 naira per plot. 500,000 per plot, an acre of land is what? 6 plots. So that's 3 million every month. Can I go with that contract in hand and approach a bank and say, give me this 350 million naira, let me buy this land. This company has already given me a contract that they'll be leasing it from me for 3 million naira every month. And then we allow the loan to run for as long as that 3 million naira will be able to pay the bank and pay off the bank. At the end of that period, what do you think happens to the land? It's mine. Have I used my money to buy it? There's always a way. So sit down with your people, your friends. If you have 5 friends and they cannot help you out to be able to raise that money, it's high time you change friends. Yes, the friendship triangle should always be such that 70% of the friends you keep are people you look up to. 20% are people at your level. 10% the people you give to. It should never be skewed. It should never ever be skewed. All these parapoism that people are doing, riffraffs, we are just walking up and down the street. It's high time to change that. Craft a vision for yourself and move with the right group of people. And it is not people who will lure you into sin or get you to commit sin. If you cannot sit down with people and 4 out of the 5 conversations you guys are having is something that betters you as an individual, your business, your family, your relationship. But it is all just premiership, see that babe, the front you carry, the back you carry. You are just wasting your life. You are just wasting. And hell is very close. Kojino. It's 2 minutes. Oruloji. So plan it. So change the kind of friends that you have and you can raise the money. On the tax thing, now when you register with CAC, they almost automatically also register you with FIRS so that you can be remitting your withholding tax. And that can easily be sorted out. With 25,000 naira, you are good to go. Speak to any of your friends, lawyers. There are always people who walk around. You see their signages, CAC, whatever agent here. Go and do it. There's no way they want to do business with you as an individual. They would rather do business with a registered entity. And that way, now Kwara State wants to get it. If you do this very well. Because if you don't, they will give you a company to work through, and guess what? You will do the work, somebody else will get the pay. Before you get your money, God will help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And please, our brother at the front here.
Praise the Lord. So my question goes thus. Presently, I'm a lab rat breeder. I rear lab rats. And I've been into the business for about 4 years now. So this year was the year I said lab rat, sir. Albino rat, sir. Albino rat.
Pardon?
Albino rat.
Albino rats?
Yes, sir.
You rear them?
I rear them.
Oh, I thought he said I read lab rats. That's why I was confused. Okay, I rear lab rats.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you were speaking King James Version English. My question goes thus. So that was why.
Sir, so this year was the year in which I started making massive increase in production because as at the last 3 years, I lost everything. I lost thousands. So this year I had to buy again. I think late last year, buy again, then restart it, and I've had a good number. Now my question is this: in the business, they actually produce very fast, and I profit when I sell. But the tricky part is this: once I start selling at a low number, one thing is about it in the market. You need consistency in the market. So in the market, now I just have like 20. I said 10. And I know that what they are even going to request for at one go is going to be like 100. Now, I want to make a decision that these animals, I want to rear them till it gets to a particular target, probably about 1,000 rats, 500 rats, 2,000 rats, before I start selling. Sir, I want to ask, am I making a good decision, sir?
No, sir. There's always the benefit of being the first mover advantage.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
You rear lab rats. You are not the only one who rears lab rats.
Yes, sir.
So the first thing, I thank God our media people were here. What is your media presence before the people who buy these lab rats? So you want to get online and establish yourself. You also want to go offline and establish yourself. You then want to network with other people who also rear the lab rat. So for instance, one lab rat goes for 1,000 naira, just as an example. And people are asking you, can you supply 500 naira? 500? You tell them yes. They've asked you, can you supply 500? Yes. What do? You know how much your competitor also sells it. And so the price you are going to give to them, let's say your competitor also sells for 1,000 naira. You are telling them each lab rat is 1,500 naira. But if you are buying in volume, we can give you a discount of 250 and we make it available to you at 1,250 naira. If you are doing 1,000, we will give you at 1,100. What are you doing? You only have 10. You get a contract, you go meet all your friends, you are offering them 1,000 naira, you even price them to 950 because you are buying a lot from them. You are in the same business. You get everything together, you do your supplies. The secret of every business is a secrecy. They should never know your customer. That is your hegemony. Yes, you get what I mean? Yes. They don't know. But you go and buy from them and you supply to those people. Now, you want to rear a whole lot. Where will you get the money to take care of them until they become 1,000? You are not Dangote's child. So you need money too. And so selling helps you to get money. From the money you get, it is discipline you then put in place to say, I have a vision of what I want to do. Look within your environment. Ever since I've been coming here, I've been seeing some virgin land, some places that are left empty. Go to all the agents around and start asking them, please, I just want to know who owns these places. Go to them and beg them that instead of it gathering this thing, that you can help them cut the grass and be helping them to maintain the place just for a token. Some of them may agree because it's constituting a nuisance. So rather than you coming to complain, so you are there, you cut the place, they pay you a token, you are rearing your lab rats within the same environment such that you can have more space. Remember, they are paying you. You are not leasing the land now. If you go to them and say, oh, I want to rent your land, they will charge you. But you are saying, I want to help you clear it for a token. Whatever you do on that place that does not constitute a nuisance is considered or construed by them as part of the pay you get for helping them to maintain that place. So you can continue to then expand what you are doing. And ultimately, when you have that critical mass, you are selling. You don't start aggregating it until it's big enough before you start selling. How will you get the market? By the time they are up to 1,000, somebody else has already taken the market. They already know the people that is supplying to them. You are out of business. It will be very difficult for you to start at that point in time. So sell the ones you have. You can also buy from some of your friends. Look for how to expand the area where you rear all of these rats, and then continuously keep yourself in the eyes of the people. And don't be satisfied with the number of customers that you have alone. Schools need them. Universities need them. Polytechnics need them. How many secondary schools are here? If you are a deeper lifer, start from deeper life. Now we get private school pass. Yes, sir. Make I tell you the truth. Now deeper life get school business pass. Go and meet all of them in the house. Any of them who is your pastor, wear your suit and tie like me. Good afternoon, sir. I supply lab rats, sir. I sell to everybody 1,000 naira. My friend 950 because you are my pastor. Oh, do I see what they will buy from you? Eh? So that way you continue to establish your business, and that's how you grow. So don't wait until you have 1,000. No, that's the wrong strategy. Hit the road now. Thank you.
I saw a hand towards the back earlier. Okay, all right. Please walk to him.
This question has...
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there any other person I saw? And I didn't see you before.
I think that we'll answer the questions later.
Okay.
Or you can...
All right. Let's give the sister a chance, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, my question is, I'm doing business. I'm dealing with gas business. So, people have been complaining that once they fill the gas used to finish quickly. So I'm having, though the business is moving, but I'm having fears that it should not be a spoil of name, so that people will not be coming and be filling the gas again. So, and I wanted to ask that other courses can I study at my level? I want to ask gas now. What? That's my question, sir.
Thank you very much. May their gas continue to finish on time. Because if it does not finish on time, how will you say? For as long as you are not cheating them. Because the gas may finish on time because their children are boiling water. The water is hot already. They leave it on. And then they did not turn it off. The thing is making noise. Ooh, they are not there. After 10-15 minutes, they will come. Why would the gas not finish? For as long as you are not cheating them, may their gas continue to finish on time. Amen. Thank you very much. So that your business can grow. Now, the thing is this. There's what they call reverse psychology. And sometimes customers try to gaslight you to take advantage of you. Don't get trapped in that. It's the same thing you see everywhere. Even employees do it to employers. They will tell you, that company is paying this much. That other company is paying that much. But they will never tell you the truth, because when you find out, it may not be true. And when you find out there's a benefit you are giving your people here that they are not enjoying there. So everybody just wants the best of everything, and they will use that against you. Just be fair. And business is not for the nice. You can't be nice doing business. You must be principled. And businesses move when friends and family learn to pay their money in what? In full. So the first thing is, when they buy the gas from you, how do you invest your money? You say you want to own a gas plant. You can start from where you are. And there are basic things you need to learn. How to reapply your profits into the business. So, I buy a 50 kg cylinder, and it is from there that I am reselling. By the time I sell today, what do I do with the money that I get? Place yourself on a salary. Your shop rent, if you have a shop, if there's anybody working with you, you sell it in front of your house or things like that. So, how much are you earning? Such that what you are spending is different from the proceeds from that gas. So that way, if you were buying one cylinder before, you can now buy two. Then the next thing is, you are just standing in front of your house and people are coming to buy. Proactively go to people and places to ensure that you are telling them about your place, where you sell the gas, and offer them possibility of even home delivery, whereby people can submit whatever it is, but you know you will charge them a little more. The cost of the keke marwa that you will use when you are going to the house to carry the gas, to take it back, and they pay in advance, not that they pay you when you deliver. And when you are delivering the gas, for security reasons, you are delivering at their gate. You are not entering inside their houses. So you deliver. You think of all of those things. As your profit continues to grow, the next thing you are doing is go to some of those gas plants and ask them, the people who help you to construct this giant cylinder, who are they? You go there and make inquiries. You can wear your best clothes. You can tell somebody, any of our brothers who has a huge stature, who can go with you. So they will think, oh, this person is a customer. Start having an idea of all those pricing. Be writing them down. So that the money you have on you, you are saving. Now, don't keep money in a savings account. It's the worst financial decision you can ever make. Go to asset management companies, the Stanbic IBTCs of this world, the ARMs of this world, and the rest of them, fair monies of this world. They offer returns. So like I was telling some of my people, we were having a master class last week, and I said, I've got 50 million naira. I go and give any of these companies, they pay me about 25% upfront in advance. So if I give you 50 million, 10% is 5 million, right? 20 is 10 million. Then 0.5 on top of it is 2.5. So I already have 22.5 million that they are paying. 2 million, 4 million, then 1.5. That's about 5.5 million that they are paying to me. No, that's wrong. 10% of 50 million is 5 million. 5 plus 5, that's 10. Then plus 2.5, that's 12.5 million. So I already have 12.5 million that they have paid to me in advance. But it was me who brought my 50 million to you. Then I give them 10 million back, holding on to my 2.5. From that 10 million, they are giving me another 25%. And what is 10% of 10 million? 1 million, right? Or is it 1 million? Yes, 1 million plus another 1 million, 2 million, plus a 500,000. So I have another 2.5 million, which is already what? With the former 2 million that I have, I already have 5 million on me. So that 5 million is what I put back in my business to add to it. Because I know at the end of the year, I'm still going to collect 60 million from those people. Then all the profits that I make from trading with that 5 million, I add it up to them again next year. And I do exactly the same thing. If I do that consistently for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I will have enough money to buy a land where I can put my gas plant and every other thing stays in there. There is no university you will go to go and learn it. Just make friends with the people who are there. Make friends with them. That's the power of it. They will tell you some of those things and some of the risk associated with the business, because you find that they always put a shade on top of the gas plant because it's highly inflammable. They pump water on it to be able to cool it down during hot season. So you begin to factor all of those things in. Then they have their associations. Go to some of those meetings. You are not joining them for their parapo. One law year who has died 20-something years ago back. But anything that has to do with those businesses, you learn. Then there are so many government initiatives that is aimed at training people in all these entrepreneurial skills. Subscribe to them. Bank of Industry, agricultural investment, oil and gas seminars. Actively search for them online. Subscribe to many of their pages. They'll be sending you emails. You'll be getting all that information. From that information, you are equipping yourself with knowledge. Is entering your hand. You need discipline. People will come to you. There's a concept of black tax. They are trying to pay school fees. I am telling you, you are I shall die. Only God is El Shaddai. Don't let them put the burden that is not yours on you. You can't put somebody outside of a well. It is easier for them to pull you down. At the back of your mind, have a percentage or an amount of money. If it is 10,000 naira, you know you can give out after you have paid your tithe every month. Just keep that 10,000. They come to you, I need 20,000 naira, I need this, I need, 2,000 is what I have. And I can borrow you that 2,000. When are you paying me back? You can go and talk to other people. You know you have 10,000, but you can't give it to just one person because somebody else will come. And by the time you have given out that 10,000, let them cry blood and you, my dear, tell them you don't have. Hear me? Don't fool yourself by saying, if I don't do this, am I a child of God? You are limited resources. Only God is unlimited. You have given what you have, let it go. People may call you names, but you have done the best that you can. And somebody who does not return the money cannot come back again the next time. Because when they return it, you form another pool of 10,000. It is from there you can give to other people too. Practice that discipline. A time will come where your giving purse is no longer 10,000. It may be 1 million that you can comfortably give out, and you know you manage it. And something has been dropping on my mind since, and it is for every one of you. The single most important decision you can make that can make or mar your career or your business is who you marry. Apart from praying well to know if it is God's will in your life, when you sit down and you guys are having conversation, it's not just what did you do in your quiet time today. Auntie Ejoma, quiet time. Where are you going, brother? What is your vision for the future? What are your goals? What are you doing right now in line with those goals? And see what are you doing too. And during the period of your courtship, if he is not sending you links, if he is not calling you to tell you, there's this thing, fall in line with that thing you want to do, with that place that you want to go, with that thing you want to become, if he is not actively showing interest in that thing, go back to God though. I'm telling you, we have seen way too many I'm going to be 15 years married now on the 11th of this month. So I think I qualify to be able to talk to you guys about it. And by God's grace, we have a plan to build my wife a diagnostic center. You know how much our budget is? It's just 4 billion only. And we will do it by God's grace. So if he is not willing to, if he's not showing it now, attribute that he can invest in your life until run. Shoba? So those are the things that can help you grow. But in your journey of life, like I would always say, God is not a disposable thing. You build a relationship with God, and off the back of that relationship, he will make known to you all things. All things. Thank you very much.